Hello everyone and welcome to the first edition of Superior Top 10 Lists. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 Spider-Man suits. Now many of you who know me know I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so this is a big list for me. I'm very excited to do this list. So without further ado, let's see our countdown of the top 10 Spider-Man suits. Coming in at number 10, Spider-Man Noir. This is an interesting suit, modelled after his Uncle Ben's war outfit. Spider-Man Noir is a bit of a darker take on Peter Parker in the fact that he still has the same powers, got bitten by a radioactive spider, but he actually uses weapons such as a revolver and a light machine gun to severely harm and kill his enemies. Spider-Man Noir is an interesting character. We're hoping we're going to see more of him now in the upcoming Spider-Geddon event. Coming in at number 9, we have Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man. Many of you know Miles was introduced in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics when visiting his uncle, who was played in Spider-Man Homecoming by Donald Glover. His uncle had just performed a heist on Oscorp, and one of the radioactive spiders managed to hitch a ride out with him. Spider bit Miles. Miles gained all the powers of Peter Parker and took over in the Ultimate Universe after Peter passed away. Miles has his own movie coming out now, animated movie, later on this year as we see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Miles' costume is a nice take on the Spider-Man costume. It has the typical big bug eyes, the spider symbol in the chest, but being mostly black with red webbing and red accents around the costume, including on the fingers and the outline of the eyes. It was something new and really nice and slick look. Now on to number 8, we have Spider-Gwen, or as she's known in her own universe, Spider-Woman. Spider-Gwen is from an alt universe where Peter Parker is the one who dies, not Gwen Stacy. Her costume is very similar to that of Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider, with a slick hood effect over the costume. What I liked about this costume is it's very unique to her. You know, we have the white and black mixing in together, we have the hood, we have the purple around the eyes, and we also have the purple areas of the material with the blue webbing going through them. Spider-Gwen is also going to be in the upcoming movie Into the Spider-Verse. Now, at number 7, we have an interesting character here, half Irish, you know, we're big fans of him. We have Miguel O'Hara, or Spider-Man 2099. Now, we're cheating a bit here because we're going to talk about both of Miguel O'Hara's costumes. Started off with a blue costume with kind of red details, got the kind of skull spider symbol in the middle, and then we have these talons coming out of the arms. This was a very different costume to what we were used to with Spider-Man. It looked more aggressive. Miguel is more aggressive and just really suited his character and just really fit in well to the time he was in. Now lately his costume has been changed and we've seen a white and red costume. The talons are still there. The spider symbol has changed slightly. But a lot of people weren't sure about this look at first. I really dig it. I think both costumes are amazing and I'd love to see both in live action one day. Maybe I could play Miguel. Who knows? At number 6, we're reaching close to our top 5. At number 6, we have Ben Reilly. Ben has had 2 different costumes, well, 3 if you count the alt one we see on the cover of his latest run. He's had a costume a while back, very similar to Spider-Man, just kind of with a bigger spider symbol on the chest. Before he kind of stuck with his OG costume, which is just kind of the red suit with the torn blue hoodie over it, which when he puts the hood up looks very similar to Spider-Gwen's, as mentioned earlier. Now, Ben Reilly is one of our favourite characters and one of our favourite comics at the moment in Ben Reilly the Scarlet Spider. He's drawn very well by Will Sliney, our artist from Cork. Ben, the clone of Peter Parker, the OG clone, and really now in the comic book street trying to find his way, and just having that iconic suit with him just really brings out the character. Before we get into our top 5, we'll just go quickly through some honourable mentions. We have Kane, another Spider clone, and another one under the moniker of the Scarlet Spider. Kane's costume mostly red with the black mask with the red eyes, red with black details, and it's just such a badass, sleek looking costume. Unfortunately, it doesn't make our top 10, but definitely an honourable mention. We also have the bombastic Bagman. When Spider-Man was left without his costume and needed to go fight crime, chilling with Fantastic Four, he took one of their jumpsuits along with a paper bag and decided to fight crime. Honestly, it looked very interesting. We also have, here we have Spider-Ham, huge fan of Peter Porker. Alt universe Peter Parker is a pig called Peter Porker, still Spider Pig. Yeah, Homer Simpson might say. Other honourable mentions here include Silk. Silk is there's a lot of rumours going around we might have a Silk movie soon, which I'm very excited for. Silk's costume, I love it. It just looks very assassin-like. Pretty damn impressive looking costume, visually very catching to the eye, and it goes with her character, and it's such a fantastic costume. And finally, an honourable mention for the big time costume, which Spider-Man designed when he realised he had no protection from Phil Urich or the Hobgoblins. Sonic Screams. So he made a suit that, when it glows red, ignores all sound, and when it goes green, goes into stealth mode. Pretty slick, kind of Tron looking costume there. Definitely worth an honourable mention. Unfortunately, didn't make it into the top 10, but we're going to see what the top 5 are now. In at number 5, we have the costume that we actually named our show after, the Superior Spider-Man. When Doc Ock took over Peter Parker's body before dying, he took on the moniker of Spider-Man. Still kind of a hero, I've seen him more as an anti-hero, but Doc Ock decided he was going to be Spider-Man. He was going to be a superior Spider-Man. And this costume, he brought in his octopus legs, we call them spider legs now, very similar to the Civil War Iron Spider costume. But with Doc Ock's one, he kept the kind of old black and red Spider-Man look that we've seen a couple of times, but more black than red, with slightly longer spider with longer limbs and the darker eyes as well. We also seen Spider-Man bring this suit back during one of the recent Spider-Man Deadpool comic runs, when he was fighting Itsy Bitsy. Great name for a villain. The Superior Spider-Man costume, it suited the character. It looked like the Spider-Man costume, but darker. Came with these legs, came with all these added features, and it just really suited Doc Ock playing Spider-Man. Number 4, we just spoke about it there a second ago. We have the Iron Spider, seen in the Civil War event. Tony Stark created this armor for Peter Parker, came equipped with the extra limbs, and was also a bit more fortified than his normal suit. The original Iron Spider was a red and yellow design, kind of based off Iron Man's colour of his armor, and really impressively drawn in the Civil War comic. Now, we've seen an adaptation of this in Infinity War. It stuck more to Spider-Man's classic blue and red look with some kind of gold detailing on it. But we did get to see some of the legs. While I'm a fan of the Infinity War costume, I still think the Civil War comic costume just looks a lot more slick. It looks a lot more kind of shiny and a lot more impressive, and it's different to his regular costume, which really makes you know this is a special event and it's a special time, which is why Spider-Man wearing a different costume. Number 3, we have a costume from the time Spider-Man was a member of Fantastic Four's Future Foundation. This costume, we complained a bit in the comics about, people might think he looks a bit like Anti-Venom, so people might think he's the bad guy. This costume was so different to what we normally see Spider-Man in, white costume with black detailing, the black eyes, black spider symbol, and I don't know what it is about a white suit, it just looks so clean and sleek, and it really popped, as it was so different to what we're used to seeing with Spider-Man. At number 2, I think this is where most people will disagree with me or really agree with me. It all depends on your preference. At number 2, we have the classic red and blue suit. We've seen multiple adaptations of this throughout the years in Ultimate Spider-Man comics, in the animated series, games, and Spider-Man Homecoming, the MCU Spider-Man. There's just something about the classic suit, no matter how many kind of different ways you design it. Just that classic blue and red, just really, it's Spider-Man. It's who he is. It's how we know him, and it's just perfectly fits the character. And it's only word for it is iconic. Here it is, folks. Number one Spider-Man costume in the opinion of the Superior Comic Show. The symbiote suit, or even just the black suit, whatever one you prefer. The symbiote suit brought him more powers, whereas the black suit then was just a fashion choice. So when Peter Parker bonded with the Venom symbiote, we got this absolutely amazingly dark, sleek, like just, it was simple but it was effective design of just a black suit with the white eyes and the white spider. We also had the white kind of squares on the fists. And we did see an adaptation of this in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. We weren't a huge fan of this one. There's something about the webbing being shown that was just so different to what we were used to in the comics. But yeah, it's just simply for functionality, design, simplicity, beauty. The number one Spider-Man costume for the Superior Comic Show is the symbiote suit. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and that little bell there so you can know whenever we go live or whenever we post a new video. Do you agree with our top 10 Spider-Man suit list? Or what would you have had at the number one spot? Thanks again for watching, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.